Hi, my name is Michael and welcome to Module 10, Basic Radio Hardware. With this module, I will discuss the basic equipment used in producing and airing a radio program. So join me as we enumerate and explain the use of radio hardware, explain the process of radio sound transmission and culture, and discuss some trends in audio production. Basically, there are two categories for broadcast equipment. Broadcast equipment for production and broadcast equipment for transmission. Okay, what are the broadcast equipment for production? We have microphones, tape recorders, cartridge machine, turntables, CD player, broadcast console, and the demagnetizer or eraser. The other equipment, which is for transmission, you have the transmitter and the antenna system. Microphones, these are mechanical devices that transform sound waves into electrical impulses or audio waves. Tape recorders, these are used for the original recording of production materials for any delayed programming and airing of tapes from outside sources. We also have cartridge machine. A cartridge machine is a player recorder machine that is ideal for playing announcements or plugs. We also have turntables. Turntables transform sounds imprinted on discs into sounds that we hear. And then we have the CD player. The CD player is used for playing recorded materials on discs. And then we have the nerve center of radio station, which is the broadcast console. Now, the broadcast console has two main functions. One is to mix or join together in various combinations the sounds coming from the microphones, CD player, or tape recorders. And its second function is to amplify audio frequency currents to the desired level. And then the last one is the demagnetizer or bulk eraser. This is actually a device that completely erases old recordings from tapes. Alright, now let's proceed to broadcast equipment for transmission. We have the transmitter, which amplifies the audio frequency from the console and transmits it to the antenna system. The antenna system, on the other hand, gives out more efficient radiation and increases the effective coverage of the radio station. Now let's discuss the principles of radio transmission. Let's start with the sound that goes through the microphone, wherein that sound is converted into sound waves. Now the sound waves would then be converted into electrical energy, and that's exactly why you need a broadcast console. The broadcast console would mix and amplify the electrical impulses together with sounds from discs or tapes. Now the sound is then converted to audio waves or electron waves and is further sent to the transmitter by means of audio lines. Now the transmitter would do four main things. One is that it would create a carrier wave. Two, it would modulate the audio wave on the carrier wave. Three, it would amplify it to a suitable level, the wave that is. And four, it will pass the resulting signal on to the antenna system via the transmission cables. After that, the signals are radiated to an area as wide as the power of the station and the height the antenna can cover. It's basically just like your grade school science experiment. You have your salt, you have your water, you mix the two, and you have a saline solution. Now the saline solution, you could do more experiments. You can turn it into a gas form, and then you can turn it back into its liquid form, and then you would again separate salt from water. So it's pretty much the same as with the audio waves and the carrier waves. Now let's proceed with this discussion on the receiving end this time. Now, the receiving sets collect the radio waves from radio stations through an external and internal grounding system. And then it would convert the radio waves to electrical impulses, and the electrical impulses will then undergo suitable amplification. And the electrical impulses would pass through a detector, and this detector would actually separate the audio waves from the carrier waves. After that, the audio waves, such as the voice of the broadcaster, the music from the booth, and the other sound effects, would be further amplified and conducted to a voice coil mounted in a magnetic field. Now the voice coil, since it is attached to the paper cone of the loudspeaker, there would be some interesting things that will happen there. Okay? Now you can actually picture this as your voice coil. This is the paper cone of the loudspeaker. Now there would be vibrations in there, and the vibrations would be caused by the electrical impulses. Now, when there are vibrations there would be a production of sound. Now, the vibrations of the cone result in sound waves just like those that are projected by the announcer in the studio. And that's how you get to hear voices, music, and sounds from radio sets. Now let's discuss the audio trends in audio production. According to the module, there are two. One is digital radio and the other one is online radio. But these two are actually related. Now, what is digital radio? Digital radio is actually the processing of sounds into patterns of numbers or digits. Now, since digital signal processing enables the transmission of radio broadcasts via the internet, you also get your online radio. Now, later on, there would be another video that I'd like you to watch. It would be responsible for the discussion of digital radio as we speak. It's very interesting because there are a lot of features there that would really amaze you. Okay? To proceed with this report, since we have an out with the old, in with the new scenario, we can't help but compare analog radio from digital radio. Digital radio, according to the module, is actually superior in sound quality because the sound is comparable to a compact disc. Also, it can be considered as interference-free in terms of reception, and it has the ability to transmit data and provide supplementary information. Now, this advantage is very much discussed in the other videos, so I really encourage you to watch that. And last but not the least, digital radio has efficient use of the spectrum, and it has a lower installation and operating costs. Alright, so that concludes my report for Module 10, Basic Radio Hardware. So I'd like you to really watch the other videos. The second one is actually my trip to the radio station. I have a resource person there, and there would be more discussions on radio equipment. And the third video is me doing an actual broadcast, so don't miss that one out. And the last one is a video which is just straight from YouTube, but it's very interesting and very informative. with regard to digital radio. So thank you so much for watching this report, and see you next time.